Okay, back with part 2 of this kind of tutorial video of Studio Manager version 3, which is beta. So this video is to talk about session building the last studio inventory. So we'll get straight into it. This is your sessions view. So by sessions, I mean setup essentially. So any place where you've got gear set up in a specific configuration. You can see the type here is live performance, portable, or studio at the moment. You can add another category if you like. But yeah, this is session is a place to capture that setup, all of the connections between various pieces of gear, and performance is attached to that setup, and it doesn't have to be a reality. You can add wish list items, which we talked about in the other video. If you do that, then you can really build setups out of pure fantasy if that's your thing. So the meat of the tool is this session builder page, and if you come here and try to create a new session, then it'll populate with a placeholder name, but I'll just say test session for my beta people, and I'm going to call this a live performance. So this area here, add gear to session, is exactly what it says, and it says follow the green highlights, but really what it means is play in this area here. And I will note this is one of the places where Coda slows down. Just be patient and don't rush it. Now, if I want to start off by adding something of a specific category, like I want to start with synthesizers, then I can do that. And this drop down will now change just the synthesizers that I have. So I'm going to add the Twist Electron MegaFM. And now that it's populated, it says, okay, add it to the session. Now, if you don't see the gear you want here, this is just a quick link over to the inventory page so that you can add the piece of gear, and then access it through the building. So now, patience, add the MegaFM, and what you see down here is it starts to add each of the channels that you've previously identified on the MegaFM. So that's all of the MIDI ports, all of the audio, and that kind of thing. You'll know it's finished because this table will clear itself out so that you can add more gear. But what I find is I often, when I'm creating a session, I start from a piece of gear and I just see kind of where it takes me. So you can do that. And again, this follow the green highlights is relevant here. You'll notice any kind of output is going to show up in purple across the row, and any input will show up in blue. I think first, if what I'm worried about is controlling this piece of gear, then I want to add something to control it. And I might add the analog 4. I can sequence from there. And see what happens here is it says add, because it's not in the session. So add that to the session, and then be patient. Just hang on a second. Again, Coda, I'm asking a lot of Coda in terms of creating these new connections, and so it'll do it. We just kind of have to wait for it to do it. And you can see it adds them in order, and it assigns them a channel number and such. It's going extra slow right now because I am screen recording. That's not bullshit, it's just the way it is. So right now, MIDI in is the connection type. I'm trying to connect to the MegaFM MIDI in to the analog 4. So here now is green, it's the type to connect to. So what do I want to connect to? I won't do this until it's fully loaded. I can either do the MIDI out or the MIDI through, but I'm going to choose the MIDI out. And then I want to add the connection. That's great. So now that says remove connection, and you can see it's also added it to the MIDI out port from the analog 4, which is obviously what you would hope. Now, if I know I'm using channel, say 12, then I can go in here to the details of the connection. You can see this is the MegaFM's MIDI in to the analogs 4 MIDI out, and here I have some connection notes. So I can say MIDI channel 12. what you'll note is this warp to the other end of the connection will bring you to the analog 4 channel. So this is just like clicking the details button on this side. And what you'll find is there's nothing there, right? Those connection notes aren't there. That's because I put them into the MegaFM. So if you want to sync the connection notes, you can do that, sync connection notes. And now if I go back to the analog 4, it's got the MIDI channel 12 noted there as well. So great. I can add a preset, but I personally, in my use case, I don't add presets to MIDI channels. I add them to the audio out channel, usually of whatever the gear is. So speaking of audio out, let's say I want to run this audio out maybe straight into the analog 4. This didn't change, right? Because the gear analog 4 is already in session. So I can just add the audio in, add the connection, but I want it in stereo, so I'm going to add another one, another audio in, add the connection, and you can see those come up on the audio in. Now you run into this thing where maybe I want to recognize those as a stereo pair. Then what I can do is go into the details and say link a channel. So now you look, I'm on the MegaFM audio out, and I want to link that to a channel. So if I do that, you kind of warp to this other page. It says, I'm coming from the MegaFM. What do I want to link to? The other audio out of the MegaFM to make the stereo pair. Click link, fine. And you're brought back, and you can see now, instead of add channel link, it says break the channel link, and it's showing you what you're connected to. This warp will take you to MegaFM audio out channel 2, so it'll take you to the other channel if you want to. So what I might do here is say stereo left, and then I can warp to the linked channel and say stereo right. And now this is a chance, or this is one of those times, and it's broken. Okay, so that'll fix, but it'll warp you back to the other one. And this will help you with, let's say you want to add a preset. Say I want to use this strings preset, then I can sync that preset with the linked channel, and you'll see it show up here as well. So now that's on both of those. Yeah, okay, so it's working here. You see linked channel on this port is stereo left, stereo right on the other one. This is a case where you don't want to sync your connection notes because it'll just wipe it. It'll turn this into stereo left as well. One of the other things that I put in here was a way to hide the empty channels. So can hide those. You can go up here and see these if you want to see them all again. You can show all the channels, and this will show you everything. If you only want to see your active audio chain, then you click that and it'll collapse it to just your audio. And then if you want to open this one up, see what else is in the analog 4, you can. If you just want to see the MIDI chain, you can do that and it'll collapse it there. I'll show, I guess, one more addition. Let's say the audio out. Maybe I'll just keep it. This delete, I'll just show that. It brings you to this like holy shit page where you get to back out of your deletion if you want. It says, are you certain you want to delete it from this session? And if I do that, it's gone. So yeah, think that one over clearly, I guess. But for now, I'm just going to add, I don't know, I'll just put the H6 in, add that. Because I just want to show, excuse me, the final sort of piece of the functionality, which is the summary section. So if we go from here, I'm going to hide all the channels. And these, this is duplicated over in the side panel here. So what you can do is go over to your session summary, and you can see here's what's in the session. These are the active channels, so you can see what has been what's been plugged in. If you've got any presets in use, they'll show up. You can see the active gear that you've got in the session, and just another view of that gear, as well as this cabling section. So you can see I've got 2 audio cables I'm going to need and 2 plugs. And that's about it. This is probably running pretty long, so I'm going to leave it there. And same as the last one, I'll put a link to the studio inventory video. If you haven't seen that, you want to see what it's like adding gear in the app, definitely take a look. In the meantime, if you're interested in learning more about it, definitely give me a comment in the comment section of the video. Subscribe to my channel because I'm going to be talking about this thing more, and release notes when it goes commercial when I actually release a version that you can use. And yeah, happy sessioning, happy gear lusting. Take care, all.